change drastically and have more challenge since generative AI was created. It influenced many many occupation. Then the generative AI is set to transform the labor market. It means that since it's appear in the new technology discovery, you can say that we can say it's a new discovery or new finding. The transformation of labor changes drastically. Where most of the job that it should where it should normally done by 4 people, and now it can be done only by 1 person or by by a person. So it means the generative AI make a jobless 3 person in for worker. Then 60% of the workers are enrolled with medium exposure to generative AI. Not all the occupation can be replaced by the EA, but most of them are in the medium level, such as cleric, such as administrative work, or other data analytic. And 75% face high exposure. So because of distribution exposure of AI influence to all rank of available occupation. It is as shown in this figure, where in AI occupation, in the occupation here, all occupation is the green means basic, medium or low occupation, and then the magenta is medium, and then the light magenta is the top, is a top scale. Here, the low and medium job is not influenced exactly by the AI. And then in medium scale, in the medium level scale, AI influence about 25.8% of the occupation. And then in high scale, the influence of AI with high exposure is 13.1%, and then at medium exposure 20.2%, and then 64.7% is not exposure. It means that the high skill occupation is not much influenced by the AI. Then the preface is how AI influence the scale or the classification of the job. And now we see, does the artificial intelligence offer an efficient solution? About AI research and development and innovation that I have done so far, the first is about the pixel classification. This research is about how to combine all the clear image in the camera. I mean here, this is the image of normal camera, And this is the image with another focus, with different focus of a camera. This image we call multi-focus image. As we know, multi-focus image is an image created by the camera when the camera we prepare to shoot a landscape. Not all the camera can catch all the landscape or the environment clear. Some of the region is clear and another region is blur. When we change the focus, another region will be clear and another region will be focused. Or this is why we call it multi-focus images, because in one image the focus only a part of the image, not all the image are in focus. So to increase the image quality, we need to combine this multi-focus image into one image. To differentiate between a pixel, which one is a pixel from the focus image, focus region, and which one is a pixel from the blur region, we need AI. In this research, I combine, I classify pixel of blur image and clear and focus image using deep learning. I call it semantic focus vision. For the implementation of my research is when we see in the common smartphone, there are 2 or 3 camera back side of the phone, but before it is only one camera. Since the use of one camera is cannot generate a high resolution or high quality image, so we need to make 2 or 3 camera here. So using this many camera, the system can select which part of the focus region when we take a shot or picture, and then they collect them and combine them into one high resolution image like this, or we call it fused image. So this is very effective. This method is very effective to generate fused image or high quality image like this. Then what we get is the image very clear and very easy to differentiate which one is the object, which one is the non-object or foreground and background. This is useful for robotic. When robots can run or find something object, he can easily differentiate between pathway or challenge or barrier it's find while mobile activity. So AI in classify pixel, but it's very hard work. Because I try many methods such as Gaussian or other mathematical equation. I have done about the variable kernel size, where when we do a sliding operation, the pixel of focus region sometimes is recognized as a blur region or pixel from blur region. So the error take place in the mathematical based method. So using this AI, I can make higher and accurate clear image or high resolution image. And then we also develop estimation of state of charging for battery, where we're using this variable voltage, current, temperature, average voltage or average current. We can estimate the state of charging of the battery. We use this state of charging time in order to estimate if we have an electric vehicle. We can predict how long this electric vehicle can run with the status of battery at the T1, T2, or T3. Using Kearney network is a very simple network. We can estimate this. We have published this in this paper. Also, this multifocus image we also published in this article, in this journal. Sorry. And then super resolution. Super resolution is mean how we increase the image quality from low resolution to super resolution. It is look like the multifocus vision, but in super resolution, the camera we don't set the focus from one region to another region. We just increase the quality of the image from the picture. Here, I use thermal image to generate a super pixel. At the left side is reconstructed or predicted, and at the right side is our target or super resolution. It is look like similar. It means that we can generate the high resolution or super resolution from the low resolution or low quality image. Using this super resolution, we can analyze the thermal image using low-cost camera. As we know, most of the camera, especially thermal camera, is very expensive. So it's very expensive. So it is not affordable for all people, for all experts to buy them, or to have them, or to have one of them. So the possible one is they buy a very moderate or very common thermal camera. Using the super resolution, they can increase the capability of the camera to generate super resolution. So by super resolution data, they can analyze the thermal camera to estimate whether the object is normal or have a damage. Here, the thermal camera I used to detect the damage or anomaly of the PV photovoltaic panel. Look like this. Here we can see that not all the PV panel have the same color. Here, the lighter yellow. At the time, I see it is a shadow of the of the another PV panel installment. So the shadow of this PV panel influence this panel. So about 15 to 20% of all this panel not work well. So using the high resolution thermal image, the expert can analyze the thermal image correctly. And then super resolution help. Super resolution method help the expert to analyze thermal image using low-cost camera. So with low-cost camera, they also can analyze and diagnose the thermal data. And then my research about smart farming. Here is where I use thermal farming to predict the fertility of the paddies of rice field. At the left side, there is a 4 image here. The left side is reconstructed or predicted, and the right side is target, or what is the natural data. So smart farming here it means, as we know, that they are very uncommon. The farmer to check the fertility or the wellness of the paddies of the paddy tree correctly. They just see by their naked eyes whether the paddy tree healthy or not. I think the farmers is not have a good ability or a good skill to determine which one accurately the paddy is well or not well. So we need tool to help them to estimate width of the rice field tree or paddy trees to grow healthy and not healthy. So this also helped by the thermal camera, because thermal camera can detect the thermal of paddy trees. Here, when the paddy leaf is hot, it means it contains much water. It means it contains much water. It means it is healthy. But when it's not have enough water in the leaves, it means the paddy trees is not so healthy. So the volume of water in the containing of water in the paddy leaves is determine how healthy they are. And now our reconstructed is compared to the target or normally data, or we call it grown truth data. Here it's a little bit different with this one, and here a little bit with his, and another here almost similar with this one, and also this part is also similar with this part. And then based on this method, every farmers can analyze the paddy trees or accurately. So if they find the pedestry is not so well, they can make more water they can add more water to the rice field, or they can add some fertilizer to the rice field, so that the crop of this farming process will be maximized, will be maximum. So our contribution for this research is how the farmer can evaluate and analyze the rice field to get the maximal crop or maximal yield. This job might be conventionally is done more than one person or one farmer, but using this method, it can help many farmer to give a solution about what problem they get along the farming process. So the expert in this task can eliminate 5 or more person who have a skill in the farming field. It means that by using this AI, it make another expert lose their job. So this is actually the influence of the smart farming. And we also here to evaluate accurately the information of solar panel might be need 5 or 10 person, but by using a person who has ability in AI, especially in super resolution, they might replace all the expert, all the technical skill person in this PV maintenance position. So to maintain this very large PV power voltaic farming, they can only disable for one person. So AI diminish more person who work in maintenance and repair of PV field. Also, instead of charging, the automation here help the owner or the driver of the electric vehicle to run the car without ask somebody else to get advice. So AI increase the quality of the image. Maybe conventionally, this operation can be done by many people using apps or special apps who can make a high quality image. But using AI, there is no need other the position like this. We just automatically generate the high resolution or high quality image. Okay, this is the sum of my research. That become my clue or my reason why the AI reshape another worker skill or competence for the future. So based on other literature, I make a correlation between my research and the situation nowadays, and the challenge for the future for the student who graduate from the university. So in this topic, we look to labor market reshaping. How EA influence reshaping the job and skill. Factor that drive reshaping the job and skill actually is influenced by the technological development and green transition, macroeconomic and geo-economic shift and demographic changes. But here we are only talking about technological development. In technological development, here it is the distribution of employer in business transformation, where digital access has the very large, with high influence, 60%. And then higher price and other non-technical factor always under the digital influence. In digital influence, one of the three stand out as being expected to have a greatest impact. Robot and autonomous systems are expected to transform 58% of employer business, while energy generation and storage technology are expected to transform 41%. But it is artificial intelligence, AI, and information processing technology that are expected to have a biggest impact with 86%. Here, the distribution employee relate to technology trend in business transformation is the number one. AI and information processing technology influence 86%. And then robotic and autonomous system, 58%. And then energy generation, storage, and distribution is 81%. So most of the, the other sector in emerging technology, AI and robotic or automation, have influenced about twice than other factor, than other sector such as energy, material, semiconductor, and another technology. So the AI have very important for the future. And then leading and faster growing job lists are roles such as big data specification, fintech, engineering, AI, and machine learning, specialists and software and application development, while technology trend partly contribute to growth of security-related roles such as security management specialists, which rank among the top 5 fastest growing role. So here, big data and fintech engineer, AI, also have a fastest growing job in 25 and to 23. So several, I think I have checked many information from the media social, such as LinkedIn, there are many notifications about the need of AI, expert or AI practitioner to have a job, more frequently than another job. So it is support my research that AI make the job more efficient, resilient, and sustainable to the company. And then, beside the high growing or fastest growing, there are also some of the fastest declining. I don't mean here that this is not a good job. It is only information what kind of competence as an institutional should generate for the future, because thank you. Because not all the skill, or we can say the major in the university have an increased demand for the next future. This is an example of them. And then this is how AI, the distribution of total work tasked by human face technology, by technology, machine or algorithm, and combination bots. Here means that how influence AI replace human work from 20% at the high level to 30% influenced by AI. So it means here the occupation in top skill is will be diminished, and also happen to the middle skill and lower skill. And then, as we see from this graphic, the medium or the low or the level here is changed from 47% to 33%. This influenced by the automation. 81.5% is influenced by the automation. So automation have a big influence to make the new skill and diminish more other skill occupation. Then the labor circumstance is now like this. Some of the skill grow, some of them keep steadily, and some of them decrease like this. And then we see map of the skill that might develop for the future, where some of new skill emerging very fast and may become have important role for the future, and some of them become a core skill in the 1920s, 30s, such as AI and data, technology, literacy, and then the emerging skills such as network and cybersecurity, environmental stewardship. Then this is the capacity. I just skip it. And then what should we do? Workforce strategy, how to make the person or the student or the worker can work well. They must fill this gap. Yeah, they must fill the gap like this. Then some of the strategy is using upskill workforce. So most of the method to handle this problem using upskill workforce, and then accelerate the automation of the processing tasks. So this is the workforce strategy to handle the previous problem about the gap between occupation and skilled worker. And then in AI, lack of an AI, the strategy is to respond AI adoption. How AI become, how the worker influenced by AI skill. So the worker should know, at least, should know the AI not perfectly, but suitable with the job. This is the percentage of adoption, how AI, who lack of AI is upskill to get understand the AI in the job, in the environment job. And the strategy is reskilling and upskilling existing worker to better work alongside AI. So the adaptation to AI needed for the future worker. And then the data also show that the technology, information, and media have the important role for the next future. And then this is the influence by AI. That's all my presentation, and I'm sorry because I cannot, if I cannot give the well presentation and make some of you not to understand what exactly I mean. I mean is how my research confirm that AI actually really make a new skill and diminish many skill in the occupation. That is what exactly my opinion. That's all. Do we have a question? Oh, no. Okay. Thank you very much for the committee who give me chance, opportunity to share my experience, my expertise in this AI research. I do hope if you have any problem and you get not to understand well about this presentation, I'm so sorry because this is my first time to be a keynote speaker. Thank you very much for your understanding, and I hope you will success in every day. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Ismail, for that insightful presentation. Might be if there is any question, you can directly go and see Dr. Ismail after this. In reality, AI is everywhere, not only related with labor market, but also in many angles of our lives. The audience, with great respect, introducing our second speaker for today. IR Dr. Denny Kurniawan is Assistant Professor and currently the Program Leader of Mechanical Engineering University Technology Brunei, Darussalam. His expertise and interests include material engineering, particularly composites and biomaterials and manufacturing processes. He was Hitachi Research Fellow attached to Tokushima University, Japan, and visiting research faculty in Donggo University, Korea, and is currently adjunct faculty at Curtin University, Malaysia. He is editor and reviewer of some journals and conference proceedings, as well as project proposal. He found, chaired, and hosted some international conferences in the fields of materials and manufacturing engineering. He also opened for collaboration in research and teaching. Let's welcome our second keynote speaker. He will be presenting on the topic, Development of Sustainable Solution in Addressing Environmental Challenge. Please join me in giving a big round of applause for Dr. Denny Kurniawan.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Allow me first to greet Dr. Haniza, the Deputy Chair Lady of the MTDA, and also to Anaji Ulaimi, the director for Polytechnic Ibrahim Sultan. Thank you very much for inviting me here to Polytechnic Ibrahim Sultan and also to the conference. Really appreciate the warm hospitality. Also my fellow keynote speaker here, Dr. Ismail, and also Dr. Azril online, and also the guests, and also participants from various countries, including Indonesia and also the Philippines, and also the students. My name is Denny, I'm from University of Technology Brunei. Right. So allow me to share some of the studies that we have done in Brunei. But first, let me introduce the country where my institution is from. Well, basically, Brunei is situated in the northern part of the Borneo Island, where three countries, Brunei, Malaysia, and Indonesia, is sharing the island. And we are one of them. We have land borders with Sabah and Sarawak of the Malaysia. Right. Population-wise, there are less than 500,000 people there. And basically, I learned last night that this number is smaller than the population of Pasir Gudang. Only about 80%. But in terms of area, the size is okay, about a quarter of the size of Johor State. So basically, the density, population density over there is not so that high. And also, the one that we can about similar in achievement is on the Human Development Index, because Brunei is just slightly higher compared to Malaysia in this context. Right. My institution is University of Technology Brunei. It's considered as a new university because it's only established in 1986, just 2 years after the independence of Negara Brunei Darussalam. And basically it started up as an institute, similar to Malaysia Institute or University College, because we offered higher national diploma at that time. Only in 2008 that His Majesty Sultan is giving consent to upgrade the status to be a university, but retaining the name. And yeah, until now, that means the history is 17th year of University of Technology Brunei as a university. In terms of achievement, so one of the ways we can measure our achievement is by ranking. And ranking-wise, it's not so that good, but it's fine within the medium range, because we are ranked in top 600 universities from QS ranking. But in terms of universities offering science and technology education, we are number 9 in Asian countries, right? So yeah, that's about the university. And about myself, well, I'm mechanical engineer by training, with a background in materials and manufacturing processes. So my research interests are the following: so basically related to sustainable materials and also sustainable manufacturing processes. And yeah, since I'm here, I'm offering that I'm open for collaboration in this field. Right. The content that I'd like to share this morning is basically the studies done by my undergraduate students. What we are emphasizing in UTB is basically the project should address the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And there are 17 of them, and each project should have addressed at least one. And yeah, the student projects that I'm about to share are basically trying to address the 4 of them. UN SDG number 9, in which we do innovation in materials and processing through sustainable technology. SDG number 11, in which we develop a sustainable building materials. SDG number 12, in which we use local and renewable resources. And SDG number 14, because we try to address the pollution from oil spills. Right. And basically, when we are telling the students to address these United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, at the first glance, they might think that it should be a complex, large-scale system to develop the solution on the project. But as time goes by, and the way we get all these things, it is not usually the case, because we can always do a local and simple and cost-effective solution. And the approach that I'm emphasizing to my students is basically called appropriate technology, where the design should be simple, it should also be cost-effective, you should use local materials, and eventually the environmental impact should be low, right? So let's go through the projects one by one. The first one is addressing the issues related to building materials called medium density fiberboard. Well, these are common materials used in furnitures, and can also be for floorings and also ceiling and also decking. One of the examples are these frames. These are made of medium density fiberboard. It's $30 billion market, oversized, so the market is big. And the way we manufacture these medium density fiberboard is basically from wood, and then you grind it or blend it to smaller sizes to become chips. And then those wood chips and then mixed with chemicals as binder, or basically they are the glue to adhere them together, to bind them together. And then you do compacting, pressing at hot press to cure the material. And as the resin, as the binder, the glue, usually it is made of formaldehyde, urea formaldehyde and other form of formaldehydes. Well, the thing is, formaldehydes are okay. They function in being a good glue for this medium density fiberboard. However, these formaldehydes are basically carcinogenic, so they can cause cancer. So basically, it's harmful. So it poses the workers who manufacture that to harmful chemicals. And also, when it is used, we are not supposed to expose them into high temperature or burn it, so that the volatile organic compound, the formaldehydes, do not vaporize. So we don't inhale them, because it's dangerous. Yeah, because of that, we should consider a better solution for this use of formaldehyde. So from here, we identify that basically there are other options for this glue, and they are in the forms of natural polymers. People have tried to do multiple types of natural polymers as the binder, as the glue, and it worked to a certain extent. So what we do is try to explore to this area. Another thing is that starch can actually form polymers. So yeah, we consider, can we use this starch as the polymers to bind the wood chips to form medium density fiberboard? Not just any starch, but we are trying to use the starch from sago palm tree, because Brunei is considered self-sustaining in terms of production of sago palm starch. We are self-sustaining over there. So it's a plenty in Brunei. So that's what we are trying to do. So what we use last time, the students are collecting this wood and then chip them into small sizes, and then use the sago starch and water, and also this plasticizer. The process requires this plasticizer in the form of glycerin. So yeah, that's what we did. And then we do the manufacture, we hot presses. And of course, this is a student project, so we need to do some research on them. So we do some variation. And the variation is in the form of composition and also the press time. Yeah, what we got actually this. It did not work well. It did not work. We tried, but we got this medium density fiberboard at the fraction of the properties of the existing medium density fiberboard. It's only just 10% of the mechanical properties, or about 10% until 25% of the mechanical properties. But out of the combinations that we tried, basically the best one are shown by the samples which are low in glycerin, high adhesive content, and also we press it for a long time. And that's the result in terms of mechanical properties. We got about 624 megapascal in terms of elastic modulus. Yeah, it's not so that successful this time around. So the way forward is for us to do improving the formula, and also we try to improve the process, because we figured that maybe the process is not the correct one. And we will try to do what other researchers did, basically not use the starch on its own, but as additive, as a mixture with the existing natural polymers. Right. So that's the first project. The second one is we try to create our own activated carbons. Well, what is activated carbon? Is basically carbon with high porosity. And because of its high porosity, it can absorb substances from when it's exposed to the environment. And which is why it is used in air purification. It's also used in water treatment. It is also used for food processing, and also making drugs, because there is this activated carbon drugs. And the market size is about $5 billion, so it's kind of significant overall. The way we manufacture activated carbon is by, as the name suggests, activating the carbon. So we need carbon source, and we need to activate it. So how do we activate the carbon? Well, basically it is done by chemical process, where we use acid or we use alkali. We rinse them, we immerse them into acid or alkali, so it will activate. And then to open the pores, we do heating. And the heating is usually using furnace. All right. The thing about the existing process where chemicals are used, what happens when we use these activated carbons for food or for drugs? Then there might be this residual chemicals inside the activated carbon, as part of the activation process. So it is not desirable. Therefore, people are trying to find alternative chemicals to fabricate these activated carbons. And secondly, activation process is basically using high temperature. And that high temperature, if we use furnace, that means it requires high energy consumption. And because of that, can we figure out better alternative on the form in the chemicals, and can also in the form of better processing. And basically that's what we are trying to do. Yeah, from the literature view, basically as the carbon source for this activated carbon, we can use biomass. Yeah, biomass basically can be in the form of wastes from the agriculture waste or from the timber industry waste. Yeah, those biomasses, we can use them. And second, the activation process are basically requiring acid and base. So maybe we can use natural acid and also natural alkali for that purpose. And people reported that it can be done. And the third inspiration is that we identified that we can use microwave. What we need is a kiln, microwave kiln, with substance that basically heats up when it is exposed to microwave energy. So that's what we need. So the approach that we did is basically, number one is we use this local source of carbon. It so happened that in Brunei, there is this company producing charcoal. And they claim that their charcoal are from sustainable sources. They use waste wood. Yeah, just for your information, that basically timber and timber industry is very restricted activities in Brunei. So yeah, we don't cut down trees for that purpose. So this company, when they create the charcoal, basically using waste wood from construction. So we use that. We use that for our purpose, and then we use this substitute chemicals, lemon juice as the acid substitute, and baking soda as the substitute for alkali. And yeah, as the idea suggests, we use a microwave kiln for that process. So the methodology is this: we use the this Brunei company's charcoal as the starter, as the carbon source, and then we use lime juice, and we use baking soda for that one, and we procure this kiln so that can be used for microwave heating. All right, and basically this time it was successful. We managed to activate our carbon. So we get this carbon, activated carbon with about similar quality with the commercially available ones. And we identified that basically the best yield is when we use lime juice. So now we can report that lime juice as a natural substitute for acid is workable. We can use that. That's the result that we obtained. And the thing is, when we do heating using microwave kiln, well, the yield was sacrificed. It goes down. We do not get as much yield as when we use a conventional furnace. But we think it's fine, it's fair for now, because basically now what we identified is that we can use the lime juice. It's just we need to improve our process in making this using microwave kiln. So yeah, that's the takeaway we got from the second project. And the third one is that we identified this growing risk of having oil spills. Yeah, Brunei is oil and gas producing countries. So we should be able to do something to mitigate the risk of when oil spills happen offshore because of the leak from the production or the leak from the logistics. Yeah, and basically the way people do this oil water separation when there is oil spills are basically the following. Number one is to disperse them. Second is by burning them, and the third one is by skimming them, skimming the floats, the oil. But the thing is, this process, dispersion involves chemicals. The burning process is basically you burn the oil, so it's become waste now. Well, basically that's raw oil. We can use it. And for skimming process, it is not continuous. It should be done in batches. So we try to figure, is there any alternative solution for this one? From there, we try to get an idea from the literature review. And basically, we found a phenomenon called super oleophobicity effect, in which if we use plants, for example, this lotus leaf, when we use that plant, the water tends to stick to the extracellular matrix of the plant, and because of that, it can repel oil. That's super oleophobicity. Super is super, yeah. Oleo means oil. Phobicity means repelling. It doesn't like. So super oleophobicity means basically the phenomena where it is repelling oil. So that's what we try to exploit. And the report was, we can do perforation. We create holes onto wood, and this phenomena happen when if we have the oil and water mixture and we use this perforated wood, it can become a filter through this super hydrophobicity effect, which basically generates this super oleophobicity phenomenon. So we also find out that lotus leaf has this unique characteristics as well. So what we try to do is by using the existing lotus leaf, which are abundant on our lakes and river, for this purpose of creating a natural filter. Right. So what the student did basically is to create holes inside this lotus leaf. So the student use lotus leaf and then create the holes and then tediously poke holes into it. And because of that, it generates this perforated lotus leaf, and that is used as the filter. And as part of the research, basically the holes was varied, and then the gap was varied, and also we tried to stack the lotus leaves so that it can create a thicker filters. Right, and the result was encouraging because the separation happens like this. So when we mix oil and water, and we put it there, and then that's the filter, the lotus leaf filter, and it goes down. The water passes through, and when it reaches the oil, it stops. So it worked. It worked as what we expected. And we identify that the separation efficiency is basically proportional to the whole area. So the bigger the hole, the better the separation efficiency, and also the closer the gaps, also the better the separation efficiency. What we somewhat not expect is that when we stack them together to make a thicker layer, the efficiency goes down. So yeah, that's what the finding of this project. So the way forward will be, we will try to use different type of plants. As the inspiration suggested, try to use wood or try to use bamboo, because bamboo is abundant over here. So we will try to do that in near future, to use our bamboo and wood. And the challenge is to scale it up, because this is only at a laboratory level. We are dealing with very small amount of oil and water mixture over here. For actual implementation, we need to make it bigger. And the problem is the structural integrity of this filter, because the filter is thin, so it may not hold the pressure from the weight of water, and also if we put pump into it, it may break, right? And the last one is on the way we make a coating for wood, because wood are alternative building materials, and yeah, our ancestors used wood for building their houses at that time. So basically wood are used as a structural material. Problem is sometimes the wood are exposed to moisture or water through rains, or it is built on a river. And wood are naturally hydrophilic. It attracts water. It also attracts moisture. And this water or moisture are basically compromising the properties. It becomes weaker and it also swells. Yeah, that is where the damage can happen. So the way we tackle this is by creating a coating. So basically we paint it or put a layer of coat to hinder water or moisture to penetrate to the inside of the wood. Yeah. And this technique, like veneers or paints or the other ways to create this water repellent coating, is basically effective, but it is still subject to improvement if there is any. So this is an open area. And we know that oil and waxes were used by our ancestors to do this coating of the wood structure that they use. And we try to find the scientific reference for this one, and I didn't find, yes. Basically, some have made this scientific reports on the use of natural protective film on wood surface. And the idea is to create hydrophobicity so that moisture or water does not penetrate into the surface of the wood. And the indication is by having this contact angle of more than 90 degrees. So those oil drops are showing contact angle of more than 90 degrees. Basically, that's the indication of hydrophobicity. And the way this natural substance protect is by, first, when we use oil, it forms an elastic protective layer on the surface of wood through the mechanisms of oxidation and polymerization. And when we use wax, people back then mixing it with other things, other substance to create this polymer protective film, basically. So yeah, the appropriate technology approach that we did was basically, let's use this locally available natural oils and also waxes made of plants. Right, and so we did. Yeah, what we tried was the use of tung oil and also linseed oil. Well, it's not available in Brunei, but we procure it. It's commercially available. And we used beeswax and also carnauba wax. So bees are from, as the name suggests, from bees. Carnauba is coming from the carnauba plant. So beeswax from bees and carnauba from plants. And the variation that we tried was, what if we use oil in itself and then wax in itself, and we combine 2 oils and combine 2 waxes and combine oil and wax. So that's what we try to do. And we measure this contact angle, starting angle, surface roughness, and etc., etc. And what we can identify is basically not many studies have been done in this area. So this is perspective. This is very much perspective. This area is very perspective. And this is what we found. Basically, the protection using oil and wax alone or in combination work. Yeah, because that's what our ancestors did, and they found it. We just try to do more scientific explanation onto it, and from there, basically, we got this contact angle of more than 90 degrees there, and also this sliding angle at 41 degree. So basically, the water will drop when the surface is slided. Yeah, and these are the details. And from there, we learn this, that our ancestors are right. They are correct in using this oil or in using this wax to protect wood. And what we should do is basically to optimize them on how to create the best coating for protecting woods. That's the first one. And second one, now that we can protect wood, can we do something about other infrastructure materials? Can we also do the same for metals? Right? So that's what we will do next. All right, so those are the 4 projects that we tried. And basically, all 4 are fulfilling this as expected. The first one is the use of local resources. It's also technologically simple. It is cost effective. It is having very low environmental impact. And yeah, it has a potential to transfer the knowledge. And perhaps at the next stage, when we have done the optimization and for the research and development, it can be commercialized. That's the intention. All right? And I'd like to acknowledge my university for the funding of the projects and also the scholarship for the students involved, and also the students who work on these projects. For your information, they are final year project students, so year 4, our year 4 students, now alumni. All right, with that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for listening to the talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Denny Kurniawan, for your enlightening sharing and experience. Ladies and gentlemen, To conclude our keynote session, we are honored to have Dr. Hazril Hasmi from the Cordon Bleu, Australia, which will deliver his keynote speech online from Australia. As previously, allow me to introduce our final speaker. Dr. Hazril is the Master's Program Course Coordinator and lecturer at Le Cordon Bleu, Australia, working across its campuses nationwide. He also lectures at Blue Mountains International Hotel Management School, Torrance University. His research interests center on international people acculturation, sense of place, job embeddedness, and the role of work-integrated learning in higher education and professional development. Dr. Hazril will be discussing embedding futures, co-creating work-integrated learning to enhance graduate employability, sense of place, job embeddedness, and migration integration in hospitality education. Please join me in welcoming him to deliver his keynote speech. Deliver his keynote speech. Deliver his keynote speech.
Okay, good morning and welcome to today's keynote sessions. I'm Hui Feng, the moderator of today's keynote sessions. So it is our great honor to have Dr. Hazril Hasmi from Australia to be one of the keynote speakers for this conference. Dr. Hazril will be sharing his keynote on the topics of embedding future, co-creating work-integrated learning to enhance graduate employability, sense of place, job embeddedness, and migration integration in hospitality education. Before we start, for those of you joining us live on Facebook and YouTube, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. So now, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Hazril Hasmi. Doctor, the floor is yours now.
Thank you very much. Can you hear my voice? Right. First of all, good morning, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here today. Before that, distinguished guests, we have Tuan Haji Ulaimi Yahya, Director of Polytechnic, Ibrahim Sultan, Dr. Nur Haniza Muhammad, Deputy Chairman of the Malaysian Technical Doctorate Association, Dr. Ismail from Polytechnic Negeri Padang, Indonesia, and Engineer Dr. Danny Kurniawan from University Technology Brunei. Very good keynote speech anyway. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hazril Hasmi from Le Cordon Bleu, Australia, and I'd like to thank the conference organizers, especially Dr. Nurul Azhani for the invitation and Dr. Lim Hoi Ping, our moderator. Today, I'll be sharing insights on the topic shown on the screen, as has mentioned by Dr. Lim, drawing on both my academic and industry experience to explore how these areas shape student outcomes and future-ready professionals. A very quick background, Le Cordon Bleu, Australia is a private hospitality college with origins in France, has a rich history of culinary and hospitality excellence. And in Australia, we offer a range of vocational education, VET, as well as higher education courses from certificates to advanced diplomas to bachelor's and master degrees across campuses in Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide and Brisbane as well. And I have been in the academia since 2004, and in LCBA, I am the Master's Program Course Coordinator, and I also teach hospitality courses, of course, as well as work-integrated learning and research-focused courses. So, to start with, work-integrated learning, or sometimes I call it WIL, is a core element in all our programs, ensuring students gain hands-on industry experience to develop professional skills and are job-ready upon graduation. So will isn't just important at Le Cordon Bleu. It is a key element across Australian education in all disciplines, including hospitality, and it bridges classroom learning with real-world practice, helping students to, to develop practical skills, industry, networks, and the adaptability employers value most. So my primary role is with Le Cordon Bleu, as I said, but I also teach hospitality and research subjects at Torrens University's Blue Mountain campus. Right, while I know my research focuses on work-integrated learning, rather, not directly on applied science, IT, or sustainability, which is the center themes of this conference, but I believe there are still valuable lessons and insight can be drawn. So WIL is all about connecting theory with practice, which is the core of applied science. And it also shows on how technology like digital tools and simulations can shape learning and employability. And WIL also builds long-term adaptability and resilience, echoing the principles of sustainability. So even outside hospitality, these insights remind us how education can, drive innovation, technology use, and sustainable workforce development. Right. Let me define WIL as the focus of this presentation first. WIL combines academic learning with a real-world industry experience, letting students apply their knowledge, build their practical skills, expand professional networks, and become career ready. So typically, students undertake WIL during the later stages of the study, and often in their final year or as part of a specific practical units. And it usually takes place in industry settings such as hotels, restaurants, and other hospitality organizations. Well, I speak, from the hospitality perspective because that's my area of expertise. So work integrated learning gives hospitality students the chance to, I call it, test the water in real industry settings, of course, and helping them to explore roles and discover their thoughts and strengths. So it allows them to develop essential skills, like I said earlier, communication, teamwork, problem solving, while, embracing challenges that build resilience. So WIL can lead directly to career opportunities or help students take charge and self-organize their career growth. And all these elements are very important, crucial in hospitality, where practical experience, adaptability, again, I repeat that word, and professional connections often determine success. So ultimately, we'll not only boost students' CVs, but also opens up, their networking opportunities. And from my research on international students, this is especially critical. They come to Australia aiming to secure work placements, gain experience, and build careers that could eventually lead to permanent opportunities. Because as we know, or maybe, as an introduction to Australia, we are a very diverse country. We accept immigrants, to fulfill the workforce in any industries. So Australia, as I said, as a diverse country and welcome migrants, is known for offering this pathway that making WIL a vital part of their journey. All right, and apart from what I have mentioned, we also help students develop transferable skills. That is another keyword that I would like to highlight here, transferable skill, because even if hospitality eventually isn't their path, they are prepared for other roles as well. And it can open doors to further opportunities within the same organization that hosted their WIL, giving them a real career boost. Again, very crucial for international students to explore. All right, can we move to the next slide? Thank you. So that was my introduction. And today I'll cover the importance of embedding futures in education and how work-integrated learning fits into the Australian context. We'll compare WIL with work-based learning in Malaysia, We will also explore about WHEEL as an employability engine, review key themes in Australian literature, highlights global and regional trends, and finally, we will position my own research within this landscape. All right, sounds like a plan. I'll do this very quickly. I know, you know, as soon as I finish, we can all go to lunch. Now, next slide, thank you. Right, today we talk about embedding futures, a concept that reflects the need to prepare our students, not just to, you know, for their first job, but for meaningful, sustained career in hospitality. And the world of work is changing rapidly with new technologies, evolving guest expectations, and global mobility shaping the industry. So by embedding work-integrated learning into our programs, we give students authentic, hands-on experiences that connect theory to practice. And this approach enhances graduate employability, strengthens their sense of place within the communities, and support job embeddedness, helping them thrive where they work. So in essence, embedding futures is about co-creating, there you go, another keyword here, co-creating learning opportunities with industry so that our graduates are not only ready to work, but are ready to belong. Another keyword, underline belong, contribute, underline contribute, and grow, underline grow, both locally and internationally. Next slide, thank you. Let's talk about work-integrated learning in Australia first, okay? So WHEEL is an authentic, assessed learning experience embedded in the curriculum, where students engage in real or simulated work contexts, and this includes placements, internships, industry projects, and simulations. So according to TEXA, TEXA is the Australian regulator for higher education sector for bachelors and above. Probably, I'm not sure what the body in Malaysia called, but according to TEXA, WHEEL encompasses any arrangement where students undertake learning in a work context as part of their, you know, course requirements. And this can be through professional workplace placements, online or virtual WHEEL, or industry partnered projects in the classroom. And the Higher Education Standards Framework emphasizes that delivery through other parties, such as industry partners, must be quality assured. And the other one is ASCOA, if you can read from the screen. That is the national regulator for vocational education and training. So this is more aligned to, you know, polytechnics and community college system in Malaysia. So ASCOA also highlights the importance of practical trainings and assessments. So they stress the workplace training, assessments, and simulations enable students to develop and demonstrate skills in the real-world settings. So ASCOA's guidance underscores the need for regular engagement with industry to maintain the relevance and currency of training and assessment practices. So in summary, WHEEL is a cornerstone, if you like, you know, of Australian education, is the bridging, you know, bridging the gap between theory and practical. So it's a dynamic approach and aligns the, you know, with the regulatory standards, ensuring students are job ready and equipped with the skills needed for the workforce. Okay, clear? Next, please. I feel like I'm pitching. Now, let's talk about work-integrated learning in Malaysia. I mean, comparison, okay, about WHEEL in Australia and WBL. Right. Sorry, the table is a bit wordy. In Australia, WHEEL is a cornerstone, as I mentioned, for VET and higher education. Right. It's broad, it's flexible, spanning internship, industry projects, service learning, and clinical placements. And the aim is clear: to integrate theory with practice. I know I mentioned that 10 times already. Build employability and strengthen industry partnerships. So that's WHEEL. Now, in Malaysia, polytechnics take a more structured approach called work-based learning, or WBL. And here, please forgive me if my information is misleading due to maybe, I am not aware with the current changes and, the current environment. But as far as I know, students spend part of their final semesters directly in the industry, whether in engineering, ICT, business, or hospitality. All right, so learning is co-designed with employers. Assessments are shared between academics and workplace mentors, and the focus is firmly on producing job-ready graduates aligned with the national TVET priorities. So while Australia casts a wide net with WHEEL, and Malaysia applies, a more structured WWBL model, I believe both systems share the same goal to, for graduates who are ready to hit the ground running. All right. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Thank you. Oh, this is just a page to show you the references I used to inform the comparison table in the previous page, so that you know that I'm not assuming. Now, move on. Thank you. So, yeah, there you go. Let's explore the employability engines, okay? How work-integrated learning drives outcomes in hospitality, education, and why it matters for curriculum design. So these are the key concepts that I use in my WHEEL research since the very beginning, which I'll share with you in a bit. The first one is graduate employability capabilities. So we'll develop both discipline knowledge and transferable skills. I mentioned this before: communication, problem solving, adaptability, and teamwork. So in hospitality, students gain operational, customer service, managerial skills. Embedding these outcomes in the curriculum can ensure graduates are job ready, while future research can explore which learning activities best enhance employability. That's the first one. Second, sense of place and hospitality locality, right? Community embedded projects not only strengthen destination identity, cultural literacy, and authentic guest experiences, but also help international students connect, the keyword that I underline, connect, meaningful with local communities. Integrating these projects into WHEEL will enable students to understand the social and cultural context of their work, fostering skills and relationships that, support sustainable hospitality practice and enhance opportunities for permanent employment and long-term integration post-study. That's the second one, sense of place. The third one is job embeddedness and retention. WHEEL placements that enhance the fit, build the links, and increase the cost of living, improve satisfaction, and reduce turnover in hospitality workplaces. So, hospitality organizations, we like to reduce the turnover rate, because turnover rates in hospitality industry is usually very high, And so when we include all these elements in curriculum design, it will signal the importance of professional engagement. I really like that word, engagement. It's always about connection, engagement, And of course, finally, because I study international people, migrants, international students, so migration integration is another concept that I always use in my study. So in my context, Australian hospitality students are international students, aiming to study. They come to Australia not only to study hospitality, but also to live here permanently, because they come from, countries that probably job opportunities are very, very low, right? So we'll want to support work rights literacy, ethical onboarding, and cultural adaptation. Very important, you see? So helping students feel welcome, integrate into the workforce, and contribute to the community. And most of them, they come from countries that speak English as a second language. So there's always, problems, issues in there. So we need to help them. So future studies could, explore how WHEEL can maximize integration, belonging, and long-term career success. So in short, WHEEL is not just a placement to me, based on my study, but it is an employability engine. Embedding capabilities, community engagement, embeddedness, integration into curriculum, we prepare students for sustainable careers and cohesive, inclusive workforce. Right, can we move on to that? That's me and with my students there during our graduation day. I'm just promoting myself, sorry. Now, let's consider why sense of place, job embeddedness, and migration integration matter for WBL, Malaysian WBL. I don't know now or in the future. This is based on my very quick, statistical research. Malaysia already hosts over 130,000 international students, but mostly in degree programs, with strong growth in diploma and master's applications via polytechnics and vocational pathways. I don't know, probably, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure in universities, yes, So while business, law, and social science dominate these statistics, STEM, the engineering, what is that? STEM stands for engineering, education, and health. And hospitality also are expanding very quickly. So embedding WBL with a focus on sense of place helps students connect with local communities and cultural contexts. Then they can strengthen authentic learning and employability as well. And job embeddedness strategies enhance satisfaction and retention during placement, while migration integration supports ethical adaptation to workplace, preparing students for sustainable careers and possible permanent residency. Regionally, as you can see, did you stop the sharing? Well, I'll continue. Singapore hosts about 70,000 international students, with polytechnics feeding into these degrees, while Thailand's small cohort sits at 28 to 30,000 students, international students. So Malaysia's expanding vocational pathway present a unique opportunity. Integrating these WBL concepts now can enrich student experience, boost employability, and strengthen social integration, positioning Malaysia as a globally competitive education hub. Shall I wait until the slides comes back? Right, thank you. Can we move on to the next slide? Thank you. Now, all right, recent wheel research highlights some multiple areas of discussion, as you can see on the screen. AI-driven simulations, job embeddedness, and retention strategies in hospitality. Beyond that sector, micro-placements, project-based and paid wheel models enhance equity and access, and intercultural experiences and psychological safety support students' adjustment, while wheel also drives regional development and destination branding across diverse contexts. So if you want to read further about these, you can look at the citations I provide in the table. Can we move on to the next slide? Thank you. So this is Australian wheel research. And some of the key themes include high impact design, equity and access, quality assurance, and organizational sustainability. Wheel also plays a vital role in supporting international students and shaping higher education practice. However, the psychological aspects, how wheel shapes students' confidence, resilience, motivation, and professional identity remained underexplored. So this gap actually drives my research. This is when Hazrael comes in, aiming to better understand these dimensions to enhance student growth, employability, and long-term career success. Next slide, thank you. Okay. Over the past decade, my research has explored, how will leisure participation and community embeddedness intersect to shape the adaptation and employability outcomes of international students and migrants in hospitality. And a little bit about the evolution of my research from acculturation concept to will. My early studies look at leisure and acculturation, showing that participation in social and community-based leisure helps migrants manage stress through place attachment and embeddedness. All right, so this created a foundation to understand how integration into community and workplace cultures reduces settlement distress. And building on this, I examined professional capabilities in hospitality, highlighting that employers expect not only technical skills, but also adaptability, communication, and cultural intelligence. All right, so will actually plays a critical role here. It provides authentic settings for students to develop these capabilities while also easing their cultural transition. So you are more than welcome to read my papers. Just search for Hazrael Hasmi. I should be there. Can we move to the next one? Thank you. All right, that's me again with my students. In my recent work with international students in Australia, hospitality students, we've found that will isn't just about building practical skills. It also helps reduce acculturative stress that usually migrants experience when they first adapting or settling into a new country. We also help to strengthen students' sense of belonging, improve job embeddedness, so they feel more settled and connected, both at work and in the community. Very important, these two, dimensions. So reflective techniques like color-coded experience sharing, this is one of the techniques that I use, which I will explain later. It gives students space to think more deeply about their adaptation and professional growth. And when you look across my research from 2020 to 2025, will consistently acts as a buffer. All right, I underline the word buffer, against the challenges students face, while a job embeddedness theory explains why practical experiences encourage them to stay engaged in the workforce. So in this sense, will not only shapes well-being, resilience, okay, but also builds long-term employability. Put simply, it's a dual win, boosting capabilities while supporting sustainable workforce integration for international students in the hospitality industry. Okay, now, can we move to the next one? Thank you. All right. Research objectives. So let me, briefly walk you through my current project, what I'm doing now. Now, literally, I'm talking to you, but this is about my project. Okay, the main objectives are up on the screen, so I will walk through with you together. This particular study explores how international hospitality students adapt to live, study, and work in Australia through their work integrated learning experiences. We start with the personnel adaptation. I highlighted the word personal adaptation, looking at how students manage acculturation and develop a sense of place in their new work environment. Next, we examined how will shapes their academic adjustment. Very important, especially their confidence and ability to integrate learning into their studies. I then moved to professional adaptation, focusing on how students settle into workplaces, build job embeddedness through three different domains under job embeddedness, which are fit, links, and sacrifice, and develop career-related skills. And from there, we ask how this experience influenced career confidence, aspirations, and finally, the intention to remain in Australia long-term. So what makes this project particularly interesting is the use of color, all right, as a way for students to express their feelings across personal, academic, and professional domains. From a psychological perspective, color is closely tied to your emotion. Try to ask yourself, what's your color of the day, you know? So this associative network theory suggests that emotions can be triggered and recalled through sensory cues like color, while projective techniques show that non-verbal tools can reveal feelings that are hard to put into words. So to ground this further, we draw on key theories like, you know, Barry's acculturation model that highlight how students negotiate between their heritage and host cultures, a process that color can symbolically capture. Another one is Lazarus and Folksman's stress and coping theory. I think I've put the citations on the script. So Lazarus and Folksman's introduced stress and coping theory, shows how students manage challenges through problem or emotion-focused strategies. And color expressions give us a window into those emotion-focused responses. And finally, I use Mitchell's job embeddedness theory, helps to explain how fit, link, and sacrifice influence students' workplace adaptation and their long-term commitment to stay in Australia. So you can look into these theories, all right, if you are interested: acculturation, stress and coping theory, and job embeddedness theory. So by combining these frameworks of theory with color symbolism, my study doesn't just capture the practical side of WIL. You know, it also brings to life the emotional journey of students. So the results is a visual, not yet, results is a visual abstract of findings that makes complex experiences clearer and more engaging, offering valuable insights for, you know, universities and the hospitality industry to better support student development and well-being. Now you can go. Okay, thank you. Excuse me. So this is our thematic analysis. From this analysis, well, I did this analysis on 16 international hospitality students, interviewed with them. And the first theme was personal adaptation and sense of place. We read from left, top, and then right and below. All right. So students adjusted in different ways. You know, some through Adelaide's safety. Safety is very important. You know, you want to feel assured that you're safe when you live in a foreign country. You know, like me, I experience it myself because I am also a migrant here in Australia. Adelaide is also a place known as a you know, a city with a slower pace, very peaceful, calm. You know, people are not rushing to anywhere, and of course multiculturalism. So others try to adjust through resilience when facing uncertainty, especially around visas. Oh, visa is a big topic here in Australia. You know, when you come to Australia, you want to get a permanent residency, etc., and it's very, very difficult. So it's more than the physical environment. Social network with peers, mentors, and communities provided belonging and practical guidance. So the symbolic use of color: blue is for stability and hope, yellow for optimism, green for growth, and orange for momentum, captured these emotions. This is not from me, all right? It's not my choice of color, it's from my respondents. I'll actually explain in more detail later. So these patterns echo Barry's acculturation theory on the evolving nature of adaptation, and Bourdieu social capital theory, which all highlight the importance of integration and network. So you need people, you need peers, mentors, somebody that you can rely on to support you, emotionally and also in developing your capabilities. The second theme, will as a bridge. Bridge is a very big word here. So I highlighted the word bridge there, between study and industry. Showed placements provided more than technical skills. Students actively sought mentoring, as I mentioned, volunteered for cross-training and learned cultural practices like small talk and teamwork. Yes, small talk's been mentioned a lot by my 16 respondents because, in Asian countries, we don't do small talk. But in Australia, small talk means business to us, although it's nothing, it drives to nothing, but it's still, a skill that we need to develop here. So this aligns with Lev and Wenger, communities of practice theory, where learners move from peripheral to full participation. And with Savika's career construction theory, where adaptability, curiosity, and confidence shape career identity. And the third theme, professional adaptation and job abandonness, reflected from Mitchell's model of fit, links, and sacrifice. Students felt valued. Oh, important. You want to be valued all the time, isn't it? You want to be recognized of what you're doing, right? Small thank you, pat on the shoulder. It's very important to everyone emotionally, so that it drives you to work harder. It drives you to be motivated. So when I said students felt valued when roles matched their goals and when trusted networks anchored them, yet equity issues arose still, consistent with Dean, who cautioned that under-resourced will risk uneven outcomes. And finally, the last theme is the career confidence and intention to stay, highlighted that will transformative effect on future pathways. So students envisioned long-term career in Australia. As I mentioned earlier, that's why people come to Australia. They want to study, they want to work, and they want to stay here permanently, to be accepted and to be part of the Australian people. All right? So, but these future pathways, student envisioned, long-term connection, long-term career in Australia through, of course, visa precarity, often the constraint that they face. So the emotions tied to career planning, blue for hope, again, I mentioned blue for hope, yellow for optimism, resonate with Savika's emphasis on career adaptabilities and with migration precarity research. So overall, guys, from this thematic analysis, will function as a converter, right? Converter, another new term that I would like you to, remember, turning classroom learning and resilience into professional competence, social integration, career clarity, while also raising questions of fairness in access and outcomes. Okay, can we move on to the next one? Now, this is the interesting bit. In my project, students were asked to share their experiences, not only through words. Okay, I asked questions, yes, and then, from their answers, I developed the thematic analysis that you saw just now. But I also asked questions assigning colors to different aspects of their journey. Three different main aspects: their personal adaptation aspect, wheel placements aspect, and their career aspiration aspect. Three main aspects. So this color coding exercise worked as both a reflective and projective tool, all right, allowing participants to externalize emotions and meanings that might otherwise be difficult to articulate. The color narratives were then integrated into our thematic analysis, where I have mentioned and explained earlier. And they, in this color narrative, we use many, the respondents have mentioned about blue, that resonate resilience, yellow for optimism, green for growth, and orange for energy, that help to ground and enrich the interpretations of students' adaptation and professional development. So color here acts as a symbolic layer that complements the thematic findings, making emotional processes visible alongside the conceptual ones. So to further translate these insights, I engaged an artist, actually a friend of mine. Her name is Savannah Peters, who is a freelance artist and runs painting classes for young adults. So Savannah and I worked together to create these abstract paintings based on the interviews. All right. Well, I didn't do the paintings. I don't have the skill. Savannah and her students did. All right. And this is used as one of her teaching methods as well in their abstract painting classes. So their paintings were based solely on the interview recordings and narrative summarized. And this method ensured anonymity, of course, a critical principle in qualitative research, where participants' identities must be safeguarded. It also helped to remove potential bias, that link to physical appearance or identity markers, which can influence interpretation and artistic representation. Excuse me. So, sorry. By working only with the recorded voices and narratives, the artist, Savannah, and her students were attuned to the emotional tone, to see rhythm and symbolisms of language rather than literal likeness. Okay, so this aligns with the use of arts-based research methods, which prioritize capturing effective depth and embodied meaning beyond text. So in this way, the paintings operate a visual translation of lived experience, complementing thematic analysis by making emotional and symbolic dimensions of adaptations visible. For your information, these paintings, the works were originally created as a medium-sized oil paintings on canvas, medium size around 12 times 16 inches, then converted into digital format for presentation. Oh, here you go. Something about technology, isn't it? The technical side of the process isn't my area of expertise, so I'll leave it at that, okay? I can't explain further because I received the digital versions only. So Savannah produced collective works. One of them is what you are seeing now on the screen, representing the combined experiences of all my 16 respondents, while her other students focus on individual interpretations, which I will share later. So we have collective paintings and also individual paintings. So this painting that you see on the screen by Savannah, titled Confluence, it suggests the merging of many voices. Of course, 16 people, it can be so noisy, isn't it? And the colors, a meeting point of experiences, is one of the collective pieces. It blends the dominant colors identified in the analysis, blue, yellow, green, and orange, into a single shared canvas. Beautiful, isn't it? What emerged is not a portrait of individuals, but a visual landscape of adaptation, belonging, energy, aspiration that showcases the outcomes of the study in a way that is both analytical and effective. So I'm actually very proud of this, apart from the thematic analysis that I has explained, this is another, skills that I am exploring at the moment. Now, can we move to the next one? Look at that. So this painting presents where colors merge abstractly by highlighting that behind every theme and colors stands the presence of lived human experience. So this second collective interpretations by one of Savannah's students of all the 16 respondents working only from the recordings and narrative summaries. Unlike the first collective piece, unlike the first painting, which emphasized color as emotional landscape, this painting introduces some figures, so you can see some human beings there. And the figures symbolize the presence of students with their journeys. Individuals navigating adaptation, individuals' studies and professional life. So rather than portraits of specific people, the figures are archetypal. Blue forms represent resilience, calmness, and belonging. Orange and red figures embody energy, intensity, and the challenges of work. And yellow represents hope, optimism, and future aspiration. So the choice to use multiple figures reflect the diversity of voices. That's what Australia is, diversity. Yet they shared palette shows the collective patterns of experience identified in the thematic analysis. So by including figures, the paintings conveys both the humanity of the data and the idea that behind every theme and color is a lived story. Beautiful. So these aligns with art-based research approaches where, visual representation is not about likeness, but about embodying meaning and emotion. I repeat, embodying meaning and emotion. The figures then are not literal portraits, but symbolic presences. A reminder that these are real students navigating resilience, energy, growth, and aspiration within Australian hospitality. So I'm sure you understand, those of you who have traveled overseas to study and then you have to live in a foreign country for many years, being by yourself without your usual support, how the feeling is. So yes, I feel it. I feel you. You feel me? Next page, please. Okay, I wanted to, do we have, I think we still have time, don't we? Right, I want to show you some individual abstracts, okay? I'll do a few. Let's do this one instead. I like this. This is one of my favorites, actually, done by a different artist, again, Savannah student from a different background and have not met the participants. And each student's color choice tells us something deeper, all right? This is what qualitative research is all about, you're being nosy, you want to know the story further about their adaptation, identity, and career aspirations. And we can interpret these through both psychology and art. So the painting that you are seeing now, the title is Resonance. It quietly conveys both the emotional depth of the blue and the hopeful emergence of yellow. All right. So this particular respondent, a student, male from Pakistan, described his experience through a palette of contrasts. He spoke of red and blue for his placement, red for the hectic, fast-paced nature of hospitality work. If you are in hospitality, you know how crazy the industry is. And blue for the calm he found when returning home. All right, so looking to the future, he imagined green meadows and purple lavender. Of course, you can't see that, representing balance, growth, and a hopeful career pathway in Australia. So in this abstract painting, through the lens of one of the artists, we see blue dominating the canvas with bursts of yellow. Interpreted alongside his words, the blue remains central, symbolizing stability, belonging, and calm, while the yellow can be read as an artistic echo of his optimism, positive energy, standing in for the warmth he associated with future possibility. Very hopeful boy he is. Well, he has no choice. From Pakistan. I don't want to mention further, but you know, from Pakistan and then come to Australia, how it's like. So from a theoretical perspective, this reflects acculturation as layered, you know, the balance between the demands of work, red, the calm of personal space, blue, and hope for future growth, green, purple. Of course, you don't really see the greens and purple here. So artistically, the interplay of cool and warm tones captures his emotional journey, resilience grounded in calm with a forward-looking glow of aspiration. Beautiful, beautiful. Can we move on to the next one? I think we still have time. This person, she got two paintings from the same artist, but the artist wasn't happy with the first one and she created a second one, but based on the same person. All right, so this one titled Grounded, it reflects the interplay of blue, yellow, and brown. Okay, brown represents struggles, grounding. The student or my respondent, a female from Vietnam, all right, and her colors trace a journey across the time. And for her present life in Australia, she chose blue, a color of hope and resilience, even while facing visa uncertainty. She's very smart, graduated, you know, one of my best students, but visa still not granted. I mean, permanent visa, but she is very, very hopeful, you know, to stay here in Australia and work. So she explained that blue captured her determination to enjoy the moment. She said, whatever happened, happened, but she must enjoy the now, you know, step outside her comfort zone and adapt despite the challenges. So for her work placement, she chose brown, symbolizing the hard work. Yes, it is hard work for you know, for Asian people, especially. I can say Asian because I am Asian too. Grounded struggle and the need of, you know, to actively create opportunities. So brown represented the realism of proving herself and building a career path rather than expecting opportunities to come passively. You know, opportunities doesn't come if you don't look for them. This is according to her. So looking to the future, she envisioned yellow, a color of brightness, confidence, and strength. So yellow for her meant carrying pride in what she had achieved, regardless of the outcome, and embracing her future with optimism. So theoretically, if we look from theoretic perspective, this maps to various acculturation model that I have mentioned before, where emotional negotiations occurs between stress and belongings. Blue and brown show the tension of stress and grounded struggle, while yellow represent integration and future aspiration. So artistically, her two paintings illustrate this blend. The first contrasts figures in blue and yellow, symbolizing present resilience and future hope, and the second layers of blue, brown, and yellow anchoring hope with their realism of struggle. I think we still have time for another painting, don't we? Let's move on to the next one. Thank you. Okay. Another interpretation by a different artist, again, on this student, a female from Sri Lanka. So this Sri Lankan girl, her color story starts with blue, which she associated with living in Australia. And for her, the skies and natural beauty represented calm, as inspiration and sense of belonging in her new environment. So the painting titled Momentum, it reflects the orange energy, the blue grounding, and the forward moving feel of the figures together. Can you see the two people holding hands? Not necessarily, in a romantic way, okay? And the figures are not presented without being too direct. And for her work placement, she immediately chose orange, the backdrop at her hotel front office where she works, was a vibrant neon orange, and this color came to symbolize positivity, energy, and welcoming spirit. So she described it as uplifting, never dull, and a source of motivation during her work, sorry. And looking forward for future, she chose green to symbolize her career aspirations. So green represented growth, optimism, and opportunity, reflecting how quickly she had progressed in hospitality compared to what might, have taken for longer in her home country. So better opportunity than Sri Lanka, according to her. All right, and the last one, can we move to the last painting? Thank you. This is Veil Journey, a male from South Korea, also one of my students. It represents evoking progress that is unfolding but not yet complete. Progressing, but not satisfying just yet. Have you ever felt that way? You think you're progressing, but it's not there yet. This is how he explained it to me. His color journey tells a story of progress and aspiration, and he described his present life in Australia as yellow, a color of brightness and opportunity. He thought, because he feels he is in the process, quote unquote, in the process of achieving success, but not there yet. I think it's because of her background. South Korean people, they are very, what do you call, competitive, So maybe that opinion comes from his background itself. And he sees himself moving toward green, which symbolizes the fulfillment of that success and growth. And for his future career, he chose blue, representing emotional balance, security, and dedication to goals. Aim and focus on the goals. So taken together, these colors narrate a developmental arc. Yellow as the hopeful present, green as the imminent success, and blue as the stable, secured future. Right? So interesting, isn't it? I know. Now let's move on to the next slide, if you can. Okay, building on the thematic, I did thematic analysis as I've shown you before, and then the color interpretation, abstract color interpretations. I also, because I am, very keen on this topic, so I extended the study using some grounded theory and narrative analysis. So these complementary approaches help to explain not just what themes have emerged, as I've mentioned before, but how processes unfolded and how students narrated their journeys, right? And grounded theories takes the themes a step further by showing how things actually work in practice. It builds a model of the process, as you can see on the screen. And narrative analysis looks how student tells their stories, the turning points and metaphors they use, and put together, they add depth to the thematic analysis by explaining not just what we found, but how it happens and how it feels. So very quickly, I know we need lunch. From the grounded theory analysis, a clear core category emerged, making Australia livable through will, enable placemaking and embeddedness. So work integrated learning acted as a converter. I've mentioned this before, transforming classroom capital and personal agency into three mechanisms: access to practice, social embedding, and effective anchoring. So together, these generated job embeddedness, the fit, the link, the sacrifice, and fed into career confidence and stay intentions. Yet, visa insecurity moderated how far confidence translated into permanence. So this connects with Barry's acculturation models, community of practice, job embeddedness theories, and career adaptabilities and sense of place. Importantly, while agency and hustling stood out, the data also warned of structural inequities. unpaid cross-trainings and visa precarity risks overburdening students. When I mention agency here, guys, it means the student's ability to act proactively and strategically to shape their own outcomes. They come here to study, unlike when you are in your home country, everything being given to you or everything, come to reach to you. But here we must act proactively and strategically to get what we want, rather than just passively following what the system offers. It's not always easy. Next page. I promise this is my second last page. Narrative analysis, very quickly. Highlighted how people, this is about the how, the big how, H-O-W. I know you know how to spell how. So this a narrative analysis highlighted how people's stories showed time and identity. Each person's stories followed its own path. So some students, I summarize it, pivoted from disrupted entrepreneurship to cautious optimism through blue and yellow hope. And others leverage networks and small talk into managerial introductions. And another batch prioritized people over landscape, narrating growth in patience and leadership. So while the remaining respondents emphasized place attachment and rapid promotion, captured in orange vitality. So across cases, a shared narrative arc of crossing, you can see on the screen, crossing, conversion, and anchoring emerge, with visa again appearing as recurring cliffhangers in their stories. And colors functioned as metaphors indexing their emotions. So in short, these analyses push the conversation forward. Will does not simply enhance employability, it actively converts agency and learning into embeddedness and belonging. But for fairness, institutions must design structured rotations, mentoring, and visa literacy into programs so outcomes are not left to luck, personality, or unpaid effort. So I won't go into more details about my grounded theory analysis and narrative analysis, but this forms the basics of my probably next publication. So hopefully you will be able to read them once they are published. Right, can we move on to the next one? This is the last one. Next page, please. All right, so to bring this all together, what do we take away from these findings? For international students in Australia, of course, WIL is more than a placement. It's a converter that turns classroom skills and personal agency into real workplace competence, networks, and a sense of belongings. For international students elsewhere, doesn't matter whether in Europe, Middle East, North America, Southeast Asia, the lessons are similar. Structured mentoring, cross-training opportunities, and fair access are crucial if we want WIL to support both employability and settlement. And for Malaysia, especially in hospitality education, the findings highlights the students also need pathways, that how to say, connect local industry practice with global standards, while still nurturing community ties and cultural identity. So looking ahead, research needs to dig deeper into equity. Who gets mentoring, who gets promoted, and how, can universities and other education institutions and industry share responsibility so outcomes don't depend on unpaid hustle or sheer luck. So we also need more comparative work, which I am also currently doing. Well, I'm just, boasting because, yes, we need more comparative work across regions and disciplines to see how WIL, place, and identity interact. Sorry, did I go on mute? Yeah, to see how WIL, place, and identity interact in a different cultural settings. So the big message is simple. WIL work-integrated learning works best when it is fair, supported, and designed with both career outcomes and student well-being in mind. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hasriel, for your wonderful sharing. Personally, keynote sessions are always
What's happening?
special.
Just give me 1 second. All right.
Okay. Okay, so personally, keynote sessions are always special to me, and I'm truly enjoyed to yours just now because it recall back the good old day when I was doing my master degree in Brisbane 11 years ago, and I believe the audience feel the same as well. So here is a question to you from the comments. Okay, how can work-integrated learning in hospitality education be designed to not only enhance graduate employability, but also strengthen their sense of belonging and adaptability in an increasing global workforce?
Right. Some of the key highlights I have mentioned throughout my presentation, but I think the key is to stop looking at work-integrated learning as just a tick-the-box exercise for employability. You're done with your work-based learning, work-integrated learning, okay, you're good to go. No. Internship placement, yes, help students to get jobs. But if we design WIL properly, it can do so much more, you see. For hospitality students, let me answer this from hospitality perspective, okay? Whether in Australia or Malaysia, WIL should be a space where they learn to adapt, connect, and feel part of a bigger professional and cultural community. That means embedding real projects with local businesses. I think that's what you are doing anyway, giving students a chance to engage with diverse guests because, hospitality is about communication skills, interpersonal skills. So chance to engage with diverse guests, pairing them with mentors who can help them to navigate not just the technical skills, but also cultural differences. It is very important for hospitality students, to learn and appreciate multiple cultures, not only culture from Malaysia. Well, we are already, multicultural anyway, so you are very familiar with that, but you also need to open yourself, your mind, to welcome more cultures and learn and embrace and, and follow some good steps from different cultures. So when students are exposed, to both the back of the house realities and the front of the house human interactions, they start to see how their role fits into a global industry. And I always mention this to my students, you see, that in hospitality, you don't stay in a certain organization for too long. You travel. I'm not asking you to jump from one job to another, but you travel, from one organization to another, from one brand to another to learn their different practices, as well as you can also travel to other countries, to spread your wings, etc. So for international students, WIL can ease the transition from classroom to workplace and help them feel more at home in a new country. That's for international students. But for local students in Malaysia, it is about learning how to bring global standards into local contexts. See? So, and for everyone, it's about building adaptability because the hospitality workforce is mobile. That's the word. I was thinking to find the right word here. Now it came to me. Mobile. It's mobile, multicultural, and constantly changing. It really very in trend. It follows trends very rapidly. So the way forward is designing WIL not only as career preparation, but as community preparation, giving students skills, one, network, two, and sense of belongings that travel with them wherever they go. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor, for your thoughtful response. Perhaps one day the lecturer and the students from Polytechnic Ibrahim Sultan could visit you in Australia. Let's say,
Alright.
let's say for collaborative work integrated learning programs.
Okay, yes, I'll be
Okay.
waiting.
Yes, thank you. Thank you once again. So with that, I conclude this keynote sessions and then hand it back to the Master of Ceremony.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Lim Hoi Peng, as a moderator, and again, thank you to Dr. Hazril for that insightful and interesting presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, every voyage must come to an end, but today marks the beginning of a new journey for our conference. Then we will move on to the souvenir giving ceremony and photography session as we conclude our ceremony today. We are honored to extend our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed keynote speakers. Now I would like to invite Yang Berusaha Tuan Haji Ulaimi bin Yahya, Director of Polytechnic Ibrahim Sultan, to the stage to present our token of appreciation to our honorable guest. First, I would like to invite Yang Berusaha Dr. Nur Haniza Muhammad, Deputy Chairman Malaysian Technical Doctorate Association, to receive a souvenir from our director. And please welcome to the stage Yang Berusaha Dr. Ismail from Polytechnic Negeri Padang. And our Yang Berusaha Insinyur Dr. Denny Kurniawan from University Technology Brunei. Thank you once again to all the keynote speakers for honoring us with your presence at the 6th ICo-ASCNITech 2025 opening ceremony today. Before we conclude our ceremony, I would like to invite our esteemed guests, including the conference chairman, program directors, and advisor for a photography session on the stage. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Saiful Hadi Hashim. With that final gesture, we conclude the ceremony. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. We truly appreciate it. Good luck to all presenters who will present their findings in this conference. On behalf of the organizing committee, I apologize for any inconvenience caused during the event. I end my duty as the master of ceremony with wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. All distinguished guests are invited for lunch. Thank you.